Imagine earning $100,000 a year. Let that number sink in for a moment. In many corners of the globe, that kind of income would place you firmly in the upper echelons of society. You would be considered rich, successful, and financially secure. You might picture a life of luxury, a spacious home, fancy dinners, and exotic holidays without a second thought about the cost. It's a salary that opens doors and removes barriers. In most countries, $100,000 is not just a comfortable living. It's a dream lifestyle come true. It's the kind of money that buys freedom and choice. But then there is Norway. And in Norway, things are a little different. Here, that impressive six-figure salary can feel surprisingly average. The dream of being wealthy on $100,000 quickly collides with a cold, hard, and very expensive reality. It's a place where your expectations about money are turned completely on their head. You might earn what sounds like a fortune, but you won't necessarily feel like a millionaire. In fact, you might find yourself carefully checking price tags at the grocery store, just like everyone else. The Norwegian financial landscape operates by its own unique set of rules. So, what exactly does a $100,000 salary get you in this beautiful, rugged, and notoriously pricey Scandinavian nation? That is the big question we are here to answer. Forget the glossy travel brochures and the idealized images of a Nordic utopia for a moment. We are going to dive deep into the real cost of living in Norway. Today, I'll show you exactly what that seemingly massive salary can actually afford you in the year 2026. We will break down the numbers, look at the hidden costs, and paint a realistic picture of the life you can expect. This isn't about scaring you away from Norway. Far from it. This is about giving you the truth, an honest look behind the curtain of one of the world's wealthiest countries. It's for anyone who has ever dreamed of moving here, or for those who are just curious about how this society works. We will explore everything from taxes and housing to the price of a simple loaf of bread. By the end, you'll understand why earning $100,000 in Norway feels a lot different than earning it anywhere else on the planet. So, get ready for a financial journey into the heart of the North. Why look ahead to 2026? Because Norway's economy, prices, and quality of life are always evolving. Norway is famously expensive, but high costs come with excellent public services and a strong safety net. We'll explore what $100,000 really means in Norway, balancing high expenses with an unparalleled lifestyle. In Norway, salaries are high and the wage gap is small. The average annual salary is about $63,000, but skilled professionals can earn much more, sometimes close to $100,000. Norway's unique transparency means everyone's tax records are public, shaping a culture where wealth is modest and equality is valued. Here, a great salary means a good life, shared with your community, not apart from it. Norway consistently ranks among the world's top countries for average salaries, thanks to decades of smart oil and gas management. Profits fuel a massive sovereign wealth fund, stabilizing the economy and supporting high wages. Wages are set through collective bargaining, ensuring fair pay and stability for most workers. In Norway, prosperity is shared, making it a uniquely stable and fair place to work. Earning a high salary in Norway sounds great, until you see the prices. Your impressive paycheck shrinks fast at the supermarket or restaurant. The Big Mac Index shows Norway's high costs. What's cheap elsewhere is expensive here. From haircuts to jeans, you'll pay a premium for almost everything. But what you really buy is access to Norway's safety, stability, and quality of life. Your six-figure salary just hit your account, then a big chunk vanishes. Welcome to Norway's tax reality. The Skatteetaten, Norway's tax authority, is efficient and relentless. Taxes here aren't a once-a-year scramble. They're deducted monthly, automatically by your employer. Your tax rate is set by your skattekort, or tax card, based on your expected annual income. For a $100,000 salary, about $1,060,000 NOK, expect to lose 40% to taxes, leaving you with around $65,000. It's a shock for many newcomers, but the system is transparent. You get a clear overview of your taxes, and your annual return is pre-filled for you. There's little room for creative accounting. Compliance is built in. The key lesson: your gross salary isn't what you live on. Your take-home pay is what matters. Norway's approach is about simplicity and fairness, even if the final number stings. That 35 to 40% tax isn't just one fee, it's a mix of contributions. The main chunk is progressive income tax, trinnskatt, so higher earners pay more. Everyone also pays a flat 7.9% social security contribution, gift, funding Norway's extensive welfare benefits, pensions, sick leave, parental leave, and more. Part of your taxes go to your local municipality and county, funding schools, roads, elder care, and public amenities. You're not just paying the state, you're investing in your community. There are some deductions for things like mortgage interest, commuting, and childcare, but they won't drastically lower your bill. In short, your taxes fund the services you use every day. Losing nearly 40% of your salary hurts, so what do you get in return? In Norway, high taxes buy you world-class public services, free university, universal healthcare, and generous parental leave. You don't need to save for medical emergencies or your kids' education, the state covers it. This shifts your financial focus from survival to lifestyle and personal goals. The system fosters trust and collective security, freeing you from many private financial burdens. If you value social safety and equality, Norway's model makes sense. If you want maximum disposable income, it might not. Your net salary is what's left after you've already paid for some of the world's best social infrastructure. After taxes, your $65,000 net income faces its biggest test: housing. In Oslo, rent for a modern one-bedroom apartment runs 15,000 to 18,000 NOK, 1,400 to 1,500 per month. Need a second bedroom? Expect over 22,000 NOK, 1,100, 30 to 40% of your net salary goes to rent, before groceries or anything else. The rental market is fierce. Good apartments go fast, and competition is tough. Many compromise on location, size, or amenities to make it work. Spacious apartments are rare unless you dedicate most of your income to rent. In Oslo, you pay for location and learn to live compactly. Oslo isn't your only option. Bergen, Trondheim, and Stavanger offer city life at lower prices. In Bergen, a similar apartment costs 12,000 to 14,000 NOK, 100 to 1,300, about 20 to 25% less than Oslo. Trondheim and Stavanger are comparable, with prices generally below Oslo's. These cities offer vibrant culture, jobs, and amenities, plus more affordable housing. Your salary stretches further. A larger apartment or even a small house becomes realistic. You trade some capital city prestige for a balanced, more comfortable lifestyle. For many, the move means more disposable income and a better quality of life. Go beyond the cities, and your money goes even further. In small towns or rural Norway, rent drops dramatically. A two-bedroom apartment might cost just 8,000 NOK. For the price of a tiny Oslo flat, you could rent a whole house with a garden and a view. Life is quieter, with fewer amenities and a slower pace. But the financial freedom is real. You'll need a car, and social life is more community-based. For families, this can mean trading cramped city living for space and nature. The savings aren't just a bonus. They open the door to a different, often better, lifestyle. In Norway, home ownership is a cultural norm, encouraged by tax benefits and seen as an investment. But buying isn't easy. Banks require a 15% down payment and strict lending caps. For long-term residents, buying often makes financial sense, but for short stays, renting offers flexibility. The choice depends on your plans in Norway. Once you have a roof over your head, it's time to fill the fridge. and face Norwegian grocery prices. The price of a block of cheese is the same for everyone, and in Norway, it can be truly breathtaking. A loaf of bread might set you back 40 noki, and cheese can cost nearly $12. These costs add up fast, making you a much more conscious shopper. In Norway, even a full salary feels smaller when groceries take such a big bite. In Norway, high food prices shape how people enjoy treats and nights out. The tradition of Lørdagsgodt, Saturday candy, means sweets are a special, once-a-week treat. Eating out is rare and expensive, making home cooking the norm. So, Norwegians often gather at home, savoring these moments together. Norwegian grocery prices can be shocking, but you don't have to live on instant noodles. Norwegians pack simple matpakke lunches, open-faced sandwiches that save money every day. Smart shoppers plan meals around weekly sales and choose store brands for better deals. Eating local, seasonal food and freezing bargains help stretch your budget. Embracing Norwegian food culture, like taco fredag, makes eating well affordable and fun. In Norway's cities, public transport is the efficient, reliable answer for getting around. Trams, buses and ferries run like clockwork. Clean, punctual and comprehensive. But this convenience comes at a price. A single ticket in Oslo costs over $4 and a monthly pass is about $87. Still, you get what you pay for. A smooth, stress-free ride in a city built for car-free living. In Norway, owning a car is a luxury, thanks to high taxes, tolls and petrol prices. Electric vehicles are the only sensible choice, but even then, costs add up fast. That's why many Norwegians, even high earners, stick to public transport in the cities. For most, a car is a conscious luxury, reserved for weekend trips or life outside the city. You're settled in your Norwegian apartment, but then your strømregning, electricity bill, arrives, and it's a shock. Norway runs on clean hydropower, but prices can swing wildly, especially in winter. Heating is electric, and bills can soar to thousands of kroner in cold months. Norwegians conserve energy, wearing sweaters, taking short showers, and turning off lights. It's a lesson in frugality, teaching you to respect resources, even in a land of abundance. Norway's social safety net covers health, unemployment, and pensions, but private insurance is still essential. Home and contents insurance protects your belongings and is often required for renters. Car owners must have liability insurance, and most choose extra coverage. Travel insurance is standard for Norwegians, covering lost luggage and emergencies abroad. These insurances add up, but they're a crucial part of life in Norway. Beyond the big expenses, a host of smaller, recurring costs constantly nibble away at your monthly budget. I call them the little giants. Each one seems small, but together they pack a punch. Your mobile phone plan is one of the first, with basic plans costing around 500 kroner per month. Then there are tolls, inescapable if you drive, and a constant, irritating expense. Parking is another little giant, especially in cities, with metered spots and garages charging high rates. Add in subscriptions and fees, and these little giants can easily consume thousands of kroner each month. What does life look like on a 100k salary in Norway? After taxes, you're left with about 54,000 NOK a month. Rent for a decent Oslo apartment takes nearly half. Groceries, transport, and essentials eat up most of the rest. In the end, you have around 10,500 NOK, just under $1,000, for savings, dining out, or travel. It's a comfortable life, but not extravagant. Budgeting is key. With about $1,000 left over each month, your priorities come into play. You could save it, travel, or enjoy Norway's vibrant social life. But the greatest luxury your salary brings isn't just what you can buy. It's peace of mind. In Norway, your income and the social safety net remove life's biggest anxieties, letting you truly enjoy life. So, after our deep dive into the real cost of living in Norway, we arrive at the final verdict. Who is a $100,000 salary in Norway really for? Who will flourish in this high-cost, high-reward environment? and who might find themselves struggling to keep their head above the financial waters? The answer, like most things in Norway, is not entirely straightforward. It depends less on the number on your payslip and more on your personal values, your lifestyle expectations, and what you are ultimately seeking from life. This country is not a one-size-fits-all utopia, and financial success here is measured differently. This lifestyle is perfect for the quality of life seeker. If your main goal is not to accumulate massive personal wealth, but to live in a safe, equal, and well-organized society, then you will thrive. If you are a young professional, a couple, or a family that values work-life balance, generous parental leave, and access to pristine nature over a sprawling house and a flashy car, Norway will feel like a paradise. The high taxes and costs will seem like a fair price for the social stability, excellent public services, and peace of mind that you get in return. You will appreciate the system because you value what it provides for everyone. On the other hand, who might struggle? The maximizer or the individualist might find Norway a frustrating experience. If you are driven by the desire to get rich quickly, to minimize your tax burden, and to display your success through material possessions, this is probably not the place for you. Your impressive salary will feel constantly eroded by taxes and expenses. The cultural emphasis on equality and modesty, or janteloven, might feel stifling. You will earn a lot, but you will not feel rich in the way you might in Dubai or Houston, and that disconnect can lead to a sense of constant financial disappointment. Ultimately, thriving in Norway on a six-figure salary is about embracing the social contract. It is for those who see their high income not just as a tool for personal gain, but as a contribution to a collective project. It is for the person who gets a genuine sense of satisfaction from seeing their tax Kroner at work in the form of a beautiful public park, a smooth-running tram, or a well-funded school. If that sounds like you, then congratulations. You will not only survive on your $100,000 salary in Norway, you will likely have the best life you can imagine. We have crunched the numbers, dissected the budget, and faced the sticker shock head-on. Now, for the final million krone question. Is it worth it? Is moving to Norway for a $100,000 salary a good deal? Or are you better off taking your skills and ambitions elsewhere? The final balance sheet is a personal one, but we can draw some clear conclusions. Financially, you will live a comfortable, secure, upper-middle-class life. You will not be a millionaire, but you will also never have to worry about the major financial catastrophes that plague people in other wealthy nations. You are buying security and stability. The real return on your investment, however, is not measured in Kroner. It is measured in time, safety, and well-being. It is the luxury of leaving work at 4 in the afternoon and knowing that everyone else is too. It is the freedom of letting your children walk to school on their own in one of the safest countries in the world. It is the immeasurable value of having 5 weeks of paid vacation to spend with your family, exploring the fjords or flying off to the sun. These are the assets that do not appear on your monthly budget, but profoundly enrich your life. Think of it this way. Your high salary and high taxes are a package deal. You cannot have one without the other. You are opting into a system that prioritizes the collective good over individual accumulation. This results in a society with less stress, less crime, and a stronger sense of community. The money you lose to taxes and high costs is transformed into a social dividend that pays out daily in the form of a functional, humane, and beautiful place to live. For many, this trade-off is not just worth it. It is the deal of a lifetime. So, while your bank account might not grow as quickly as it would elsewhere, your quality of life will almost certainly be higher. The real value of that $100,000 salary in Norway is not what it buys you in terms of stuff, but what it buys you in terms of life. A life with more time, less worry, and a deeper connection to both nature and community. It is a different kind of wealth, a quieter and perhaps more profound prosperity. And for the right person, that is the best bargain you will ever find.